What up? I'm back with another video. This time it's gonna be something real quick. But a lot of people, when it comes to music, when it comes to rap especially, which is another discussion in its own I might have at another time, but especially in rap, authenticity for some people is very important in music. People like to say, oh, if the rapper ain't living what he rapping, then I don't want to listen to it. But the thing is, what if they not, but it looks like they are? What are you going to do? Stop listening to it? What if all these rappers that you thought was just the most hardcore, streetest gangster were all playing a role and were all in cahoots to just make up some stuff? What would you do? One of the important parts in hip-hop is storytelling. For real good hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? It's storytelling. Telling a story or delivering a message through a narrative and stuff like that. A lot of people like some rappers that tell stories, but it isn't real, but you like it. King Von's Crazy Story. Even though King Von is King Von, you don't just assume Crazy Story is an actual thing, a real thing, based on real events of real things that actually happen. It's called Crazy Story, but we like it though. So how can we like Crazy Story? How can we like what's another big? How can we like Stan? How can we like I Gave You Power? How can we like certain songs? I'm Not a Racist. Certain things that are not real but are based on real things, but then say, oh, if it ain't real, if it ain't authentic, I don't want to listen to it. But we champion songs that aren't real but are based off real things. What's the difference between me? What's the difference between me rapping about being a Crip and doing this and doing that? I don't really do it, but people really do it. What's the difference between that and Stan, where Eminem ain't really a crazy fan, or Stan isn't an actual person, but there are actual people who are like Stan? What's the difference? If you really think about it, what is the difference between me making up a story in a song and me making up a story throughout my whole career? If my whole career, like MF Doom is a character, but people like him. Of course, he's using his own thoughts, his own thing. He's creating this story based around this character, but it isn't real, but people like it. Drake, people love Drake, but everything Drake raps isn't real. Some of it is, some of it isn't even his bars, but people like it. So where is the line in, if it ain't real, I don't want to listen to it? That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Where does the line sit? Because a lot of rappers over exaggerate. A lot of rappers, you know what I'm saying, pull certain events from people that they know. Everything a rapper rap isn't from their perspective. It comes from things they've been told, things they've seen, things like it's coming through their perspective, but isn't from their perspective. You know what I'm saying? I write a lot of things based on my personal life, but I also write things when it comes to my music. I write things based on my personal life, things I've actually done, but I also write things based off of conversations I've had with people, based off events that happen to people. Like, I base my music on things like that, where it's like everything I rap isn't real in the terms of me, but it's real in the terms of life. It's real in the terms of the world. It's real in terms of the universe. So what is really real in music? In country music, an artist can make a song about a bank robbery. They didn't really rob a bank, but a bank was robbed before. But no one says, oh, he ain't really robbing a bank, so I don't want to hear it. No, they're going to listen to the song because it's coming from a real thing that could happen. Eminem what's that album? Music to be Murdered By, Darkness. Eminem is rapping from the perspective of the Las Vegas shooter. Eminem was not the Las Vegas shooter, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? So what people gonna be like, nah, I'm not listening to Darkness because he ain't really do the shooting at the Las Vegas thing. Why would I listen to that? That ain't real. Well, it is real. He just ain't the real person that did it. So what realness are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? There's rappers that rap about selling coke, or they brag about selling cocaine as if they were this big drug lord. They may have sold a few, you know what I'm saying, every now and then, but they exaggerate it for the music, for the entertainment. And that's what we got to remember. This is all entertainment. Why are we looking for realness in entertainment? I don't understand if it's a TV show based on real life. Yeah, I want some realness in there so it can kind of connect. But for the most part, when we rapping, it's going to have that realness in it because it's an actual person actually speaking to you. Unless it's just some like outlandish, like sometimes Eminem goes off the board with some of his stuff. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most rappers is going to rap about actual things that can actually happen in actual life. So what makes it not real? Because it isn't 100% that artist's life. Nothing that a rapper raps is 100% that rapper's life. It could be something my friend did, something that happened to somebody I know back in the day, something this, something that. It's all real. It just isn't real to that specific individual, but it should all be real to you. And then, even if it is real, who says you will be able to understand it if you've never been through it? So what is the fine line between what is real and what is not real when it comes to music? What is the fine line between something you can relate to and something you can't? There are people who say, oh, I won't listen to it if it ain't real, if they ain't talking that shit. I ain't gonna talk about it if they ain't doing this and doing that. But you aren't doing this and doing that. So why does it matter if they real if you not real? And you might be real as far as you are who you are, but why do you expect someone to be exactly the opposite of you and you tell them they not real because they rapping about something that they ain't really doing, but you listening to something that you ain't really doing? You can't relate to what they rapping about, but you only listen to them because it's real. But if it's not real, you don't want to hear it, even though the person that's not real may have more in common with you than you with the person that is real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine if an artist, a gangster rapper, say a street rapper, come out and say, if you ain't catching bodies, if you ain't selling bricks, if you ain't never shot at nobody, if you ain't never been in a shootout, if you ain't never put no work in the streets, if you ain't never been in jail, if you ain't never sat in prison, if you ain't never paid nobody bond, if you ain't never did this, you ain't never did that, don't listen to my song. Y'all would be like, who the fuck are you to tell us who we got to be to listen to your music? You put your music out for anybody and everybody to listen to, and you're going to say, oh, we can't listen to your music because we ain't do this and that. That's stupid. That's lame. But you said, if you ain't rapping about catching bodies, if you ain't really robbed nobody, if you ain't really sell no bricks, I don't want to hear it. But he can't say, if you ain't really selling bricks, you shouldn't even listen to this. That's an issue if he say, you shouldn't listen to this if you ain't killing nobody. That's toxic. That's bad for the generation. That's bad for the people. Now the murder rate's about to go up because now people feel like they got to kill somebody to listen to your songs. Now they're going to blame everything and all things on him because he's the artist and he said, if you ain't killing nobody, you can't listen to my music. But the fans are saying, if you ain't killing nobody, I'm not listening to your music. What? There's a lot of weird things that go on in the music industry and the mindset of the consumer versus the producer, where it's like, if the roles were flipped, how would that really work? Then it would be an issue if the roles were reversed. Like I said, if me as an artist say, if you ain't kill nobody, don't listen to my music, it would cause a huge outrage. People will say, this is an example of hip-hop poisoning the community. Hip-hop poisoning, the murder rates is about to go up. This and that. This artist is a demon and he should be taken off the radio because he's promoting violence. But the fans can say, oh, he ain't really catch nobody, so I'm not listening to his music. Wouldn't that raise the murder rate? Because now artists feel like, okay, I gotta go and kill somebody to get popular. I gotta go kill somebody to reach this demographic. I gotta go rob somebody to do this. I gotta go fight somebody to do this. It's the same thing. The artists are as responsible for the world. The artists are as responsible for society and what people do as the people are themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because people move based off of social media. We like to put the blame on the artist. Oh, he's poisoning and he's putting out this type of music and he's doing this and that. He's raising the crime rate and this and that. So this is happening because of him. Not realizing that the same thing this artist is saying, he might have saw on Instagram or Twitter, or they're saying on Instagram and Twitter. Like I'll see actual tweets. I'll see actual people say this in real life. Oh, he ain't killing nobody. I ain't listening to him. Is that not poisoning the community? Are you gonna say, oh, an artist made him think that you got to kill somebody to be your music to be listenable? No, because that wasn't a thing before. The fans made that a thing. Oh, I want my rappers to really be in the streets. I want my rappers to really be doing this and that. Well, but I can't say I want my listeners to really be doing this and that, because there's no real effect. If you already doing it and I'm rapping about doing it, what really changes? Are you gonna say, oh, they're gonna make them do it more? No, it's not. It's just gonna be, yeah, this is the anthem to my life. Boom, we out here. We doing this, we doing that. But if you're not really doing it and then you hear me talking about it, are you gonna go do it? But that's all I want to talk about. What is really real? Who is really real? Who should we hold accountable for the realness that needs to go on in hip hop? Why do we need realness in hip hop when in every other genre that you don't have to be real? You can make up entire stories. You can make up entire characters. And Billie Eilish, I never listened to Billie Eilish, but from what I hear, she's big. She doesn't even write most of her songs. Her brother writes most of her songs, but she's big because of the stories she tells, the characters she creates in her music. But an artist in hip hop can't do that, or they can't do it too much, or they corny, they weird, they lame. Nobody want to hear that. That shit ain't real. Da 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 da. It's just weird. And it's really, I don't want to say it's only hip hop because I'm not into any other genre, but it's that whole mindset of you got to be real for me to take you seriously. You got to be real to do this and that. You just got to be yourself. That's what being real is. Being real is being yourself. A lot of people confuse being real with being street. There are fake people in the streets. There's fake people in real life. Being real is being yourself. Be yourself in your music. Don't talk about something if it ain't true. Certain things I talk about music, I ain't gonna say here, but certain things I talk about music, things I talk about in music that people be like, oh, he ain't, like, those are real things. Those are actual things. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that I say, oh, I blah, 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 blah. That's me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, be you. That's what being real is. Be you. Stick to you. So as an artist, don't rap about killing people. Don't rap about selling drugs. Don't rap about this and that if that ain't you. Rap about what's you. Because guess what? Then it's going to pull in the people who are like you. And that's all you really need. All you need is a loyal fan base that can relate to what you are talking about. You don't need the street fans. You don't need this. You don't need that. There's enough of each people to go around. If you is really moving in these streets and you want to talk about the ups and the downs, do that. And you're going to pull some of them street people who also can relate to the ups and the downs of moving in the streets. Don't force it and try and do this and that because it is what it is. If you a fan and you ain't nothing wrong with wanting to listen to street stuff, but don't hold people to the standard of the street stuff you listen to if you're not even a part of it. Don't do that, because that's not fair. If you're not in the streets, why you want all your rappers that you listen to be street, and you want them to really catch bodies, and you really want them to do this, and you really want to do that? Why? That stuff is traumatizing. That stuff causes people to wake up in cold sweats at night. That stuff isn't entertainment. That stuff is real life. And you want people to go through traumatic things in real life for you to take that entertainment seriously. This isn't entertaining. This is real life people go through. Yeah, we make it music because that's the only way we're going to express ourselves. We could write in a book. That's the only way we're going to be able to express ourselves. But don't take it as entertainment. Don't put rules on our life in the way that we express ourselves and say, oh, well, you ain't really this and that. So what? As a rapper, say, oh, so what? I ain't really doing this and doing that. Guess what? My partner is. He doesn't have the musical talent, or he doesn't have the time, or he doing a bid. So he can't tell his story. So I'm going to tell his story for him. Why can't that be acceptable? Oh, because you want to be entertained by us personally going through those real traumas, those real things, the real traumas and the real issues that come with that lifestyle. You want us to go through that. You want us to go through that pain and that stress and all that, so you can be more entertained by it. That isn't right. But anyways, that's it for me. Like, share, and subscribe for more content. We just going off. We just talking about whatever you know what I'm saying? We may go into a further conversation about this at a later time. It depends on how I'm feeling, but like I've said, what is real? Define what is real, because anything can be real. Does it have to be real to that specific person? No, but that doesn't make it not real. That's just me. I'm out. Too sweet.